tuning in to another episode of the Berardo Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Berardo. Each episode I focus on giving you fun, entertaining content on health, happiness, positivity, and anything else that's important to us humans. If you haven't already, you can follow me on Instagram at the Berardo, and don't forget to subscribe to the show by visiting theberardo.com/thepodcast, or just click that little subscribe button wherever you're listening to the podcast. Thanks again, and enjoy the episode.
You're just funny. It's funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
Hector, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Nova J.
All day.
What's up, baby?
Chilling.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we just go right into it.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Berardo Podcast. As you can see, this is not the normal studio.
It is not.
We are we're live from address redacted from Hector's crib.
Yeah.
But Hector, how do you pronounce your last name?
Rivera.
That's easy. I should have gotten that.
I was going to say, how would you?
Yeah.
We were just having a conversation
most
about
people
this.
say Riviera.
Sorry. We were just having a conversation about this.
Well, normally I would go Riviera because of the wife, you know. She's Rivera. But we're live here, and we wanted to really do this podcast for a couple reasons. A, Hector is potentially thinking about maybe doing a podcast with Nova.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then B, Hector's a tattoo artist, so I kind of want to shoot the shit a little bit and talk about the industry. You know, there was a little disease. I don't know if you guys know. So yeah, it was called COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, it was around for a little bit.
Okay.
No big deal.
Plandemic.
Plandemic. But I wanted to see kind of the tattoo industry, how it was affected. But before we get into any of that, a couple things. So, number one, remember, Mike's right here.
Mike's right
Right
here.
here.
That's right.
Fist away.
Fist away. Don't fist the mic. Take it out to dinner first. And then number two, I do want to thank our sponsors. So we can't go without thanking Kitty Litter. Brought to you by...
Oh, words?
So Super Fat, guys, if you don't know, Super Fat is my favorite snack.
Okay.
You know what that is?
I don't.
So it's a nut butter, but it's a company that has keto snacks, cookies, baking mixes. You can make your own pancakes. They have tons of products, all keto friendly and vegan.
Ooh. Okay.
Visit superfat.com, use the code Berardo10. You're going to get a huge discount. And
It's Sunday.
cats are included with each purchase.
Everybody, this is Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday is here if you can't tell, if you're not watching this on YouTube. Sunday, what do you have to say?
Nice. That's exactly what she would say, too.
There's this great Joe Rogan skit where it talks about how, like, cats are demons. Have you seen this?
I've heard of it, and I might have
No.
seen it like a long time ago, but I don't remember it.
They'll, like, stand in front of, like, windows, and they'll make these wicked, crazy sounds that you don't even know. It's, like, built into their DNA, where it's, like, they'll just go, like, these weird, sadistic
My
things.
cats have definitely haven't done that yet.
Are your house cat? Are they house cats, though?
One's a stray. The white one is a house cat.
If you ever hear anything like that, it's not a demon. It's probably
it's
one of your cats.
Oh,
the cat.
damn.
Yeah, that's how brutal they are.
Nice.
But yeah, anyway, visit superfat.com. This is how we do ads on my podcast. Visit superfat.com. Use the code Berardo10. You're going to discount on everything they have to offer. Thank you, Superfat. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
So Hector Riviera
Just
and Nova J,
All day.
thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Yeah. Well, really, thanks for Hector for having us,
True.
because this is like his studio.
Facts.
But
So thank you, Hector,
thanks,
for
Hector.
having us.
I am, just here along for the ride, guys.
Shit. Bullshit. No, you guys talk. We talk all the time.
That's right.
I'm here
I
just
talk-
to be here.
I talked to Nova too much, actually. So, guys, a lot has happened, obviously, in the past 18 months. And it's kind of this weird, because it's like the first time, well, not the first time, I don't want to say that, because I've had people over to my house, but they've been outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're cooking and barbecuing and drinking and having a
Okay.
good time. You know what I mean? But this is like the first time really in like a year that I've been inside four walls with two other dudes.
Whoa.
Damn.
Normally that's just a Saturday night. But
I gotta be honest, man.
a little closer,
And like, I know that I believe in COVID because
Sure.
I have COVID, but the whole time I kind of lived my life as normal as
Right.
possible. Just
Wait, did you say you have COVID or you had?
I had.
Okay.
Past tense.
Okay.
In the
Because
past.
have should have been the first thing that you said when I got here. Hey, by the way, I have COVID. Come in. Yeah, so you had it.
Yeah.
So you just been after you got it, you just been kind of living life.
Well, even
essentially, right?
before, honestly, just because how long was I out of work? Maybe like a month or
yeah.
a month and a half.
You got it
Because the
pretty
shop was
bad.
closed, right?
The shop was closed for a month and a half, but I mean, compared to everybody else, you know, there's a lot of people that didn't work, that didn't work for a long time.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
I felt like I was super lucky as far as that,
And then was it just the reason because the city had to shut that industry?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not-
everybody was freaked out. Honestly,
Because it's
I-
not. What
I
do they call it?
saw-
It's not.
essential.
Essential.
Essential. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's what it was.
But liquor stores are essential.
Yeah.
They were open.
I
Yeah,
know.
But what if I want a tattoo? That's not essential.
I would
should
think
be.
so.
It should be.
Because I was craving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I was freaked out at first, and I stopped sooner than the shutdown. I'm pretty sure. I think I stopped like a week before the shutdown
Oh wow.
because it became, as soon as people realized that they're going to shut down soon, everybody wanted a tattoo.
Oh, of course.
So hordes of people were coming into the shop,
Loading up.
and it was like people were coughing, and it was kind of a real scary vibe, and
Yeah.
after about a week of that, I was like, sorry guys, I've got a kid,
You gotta bounce. Yeah. You gotta be careful with it. Yeah, it's been funky, man, because you don't. Again, the problem is social media. There's so many, pros and cons of
Facts.
everything. You don't know what is
You don't know
fact
who-
and what isn't.
Exactly.
And that goes with everything, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if Jennifer Aniston is having an affair because there's two.
Jennifer Aniston is supposed to be having an affair?
Well, I'm just throwing it out there. Fake news.
Oh,
But-
you don't know if A-Rod cheated on J-Lo.
Right.
Okay.
But one says he did and one says he
Exactly.
didn't. So it's like, who
It's
do
her.
I believe?
She's the problem.
She's the issue.
Yeah.
She left Ben Affleck. Come on.
But she loved Batman.
Why'd she leave Batman? But you don't know who to believe, right? Whether it's
Exactly.
CNN, Facebook, whether it's Instagram or Fox or Twitter. Like, where do we get our news from? We don't know. And then you have this, jabroni Fauci that, runs the CDC, that he's saying, hey, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Now emails. Have you heard about the email links?
Just heard about it today.
So they just leaked. So he has all these emails saying masks are pointless. This was months ago. They came back.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy that I work with today just told me about it. He was like, don't even look it up unless you want to be extremely upset.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Yes.
What?
Yes. And, but here's the issue, right? There's two things to dissect with that, playing devil's advocate. So he's a piece of shit is one option.
Numero uno.
Numero uno. He's a piece of shit, and he's doing this stuff for, I don't know, financial gain, or he has some agenda that we don't know about. Maybe it's deep in the government, right? Or number two is he's just a human, and he's making a mistake.
Yeah.
And everything's falling on him. But then at the same time, it's like, but dude, you're working for a government organization, and the government has shown time and time again that they just don't give a fuck about us.
Right.
So, it's like we're willing to spend money and go overseas and battle other countries to teach them our way, but then we can't fix fucking Flint, Michigan. Like, it's almost like,
Oh my God. Yeah.
like, what is our government, like, what are we doing here?
Priorities, the priorities are all
Yeah.
jacked up.
So, like, to your point, it's like, yeah, I want to listen, and I get COVID, and I get it's an issue, but
It
I don't know.
almost seems like, and again, I know a lot of people like you, where you said this is like the first time in about a year, but then I know so many people like myself who've kind of gone throughout their lives still the same way.
Sure.
Not so much like anti-mask or anti-government, just
living life.
they're just
That's what I was gonna say. Like when this all happened, for me in April, we kind of laughed at everything being locked down because we were like, we have no problem staying our asses right in our fucking house. No problem. It's
right.
what we do already. If we're not working, we're home.
Yeah.
All we got to do differently now is put on a mask. We don't have a fucking problem with that.
That's so true.
Whether we needed to do it or not, or if it's a hoax or for real, or you can still get it, you can't get it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it. Like,
And, I think, I hate to say this, but I'm kind of glad COVID happened.
I agree.
I'm not glad for the people that obviously passed away, and I had a lot of friends that had family members that were
Or
deathly
the
ill.
people who lost work, because I lost work too.
Right.
I lost all my job.
man,
My
you
whole
know,
company,
you're-
Crossbreed,
yeah.
went down.
Done.
Nobody needed pictures. Nobody needed makeup. Nobody was dancing. We were shut down.
Yeah.
And even still now, it's hard to kind of you can't get back in the swing of things. It's
Exactly.
tough,
I'm
right?
just crawling right now,
Right.
bro. Literally, if it wasn't for Hector,
Yeah.
who allowed us to watch his kid, we would have been shit out of luck.
Yeah. So
that
kudos
was-
to Hector.
That was a real, you
Yeah.
know, hardships, man.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. So it's almost like it happened for a shitty reason, you know, and there was a lot of like cons that came from it. But the one pro that I realized was humans are just disgusting. Like we're very sick, right? Because
Yeah.
like you go to these restaurants now, and I'm looking at like all these signs, and they're saying, "Hey, keep the tables clean and keep this clean." So there's signs now that wasn't there a year ago. It's like, what were you doing when I went to the restaurant a year
Why
ago?
do I need a sign now? You should have been doing this from the get-go.
Yeah.
Which also with washing your hands and
Right.
sanitizing. Me and April were like, we do this shit every day
We should be doing
anyway.
this, like
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
But we're realizing now that the majority of the population was not doing that at all, which
And
is
then
unfortunate.
We'll have to have a hard reset, you know, years from now, probably,
right.
because you know the human race is just—they're going to continue to make the same mistakes.
Absolutely.
That's right. And we do it time and time again.
Time and time.
But, you know, anyway, things are starting to get back to normal. We're in Florida, so we're blessed a little bit.
A little bit.
We're a little spoiled.
Because we don't care.
That's right.
Right.
DeSantis was like, yeah,
Us in
we're,
Texas.
never closing down.
Yeah. Yeah, Texas and Florida, we're just, which is ironic because they both have the least amount of cases, which is even more funny. So I think a lot of it has to do with the way we maybe are doing things, because a lot of the stuff we do, like with my work, we went from doing events all over the country to now it's just primarily outside.
Right.
Because it's been shown that, you know, vitamin D and vitamin C are, you know, good factors to fight off COVID. So maybe it's because we have just, you know, year-long sun in Florida. Maybe that's it. Or maybe it's because we're just kind of doing our thing and we're just not being gross.
See, we just don't know.
We just don't know.
We
And I don't
just
think
know.
we're
And
ever going to know.
No, we're never going to know.
It's unfortunate.
Absolutely not.
Maybe a bit of both.
A little bit.
It's just going to have to be your opinion. Whatever your opinion is on it, go with that.
And there is one other pro that came from COVID, and that was
Not being able to see ugly people anymore. No?
Is that why we haven't
Is that
seen
just
each other
me?
in forever?
Okay, that's why I'm pissed now.
Right.
Because we don't need masks anymore. And now these people forgot how ugly they look.
That's
and
right.
they out here in the streets with their mask off. And now I got to look at this. And I'm like, you did half your makeup. Girl, get back in that. What's wrong with you?
But the mask also created a new issue,
Yes.
which was someone walks in and you think they're incredibly
And then
attractive,
they take that some bitch down.
and it's not so much what you were hoping for.
it's like fucking beer goggles that you take on and off.
Yo,
Yeah, that's so
that
funny.
is true.
And you know what's even more interesting, and I want to talk about Warrior in a second, but what's more funny, I was thinking about this the other day when me and the wife were out to dinner, and there was a little kid, maybe a year old or something, and you guys have kids, so you know. But what I find so interesting is 18 months of a child, let's say a newborn,
Okay.
right? Like 18 months ago. Heart of the pandemic, May 2020, right? You have a kid. So for a year up until maybe a couple weeks ago, all this kid knows is no mouths.
Yeah.
Quarantine babies.
Think about it. No mouths. You think everyone's Bane when you walk around. Like imagine that if you're a kid, right?
Oh my! I didn't think of it like
But then
that.
here's what I think about. This is where mine
I,
gets.
I thought about these
Yes.
kids are mad weird now because they're socially awkward.
That
But
too.
I didn't think about the half a face.
Well, that's not even everything. So that's part of it. The most terrifying thing to me, if I'm a child, is as I get older and I still only see the mask. For a year, I've only seen, oh, the dog, right? So I only seen that. But then finally things are getting a little bit more comfortable.
Okay.
You see that same black mask coming to your house, and you're the kid, and your parents and their friends are at your house, and they remove their mask. And you're the kid looking at that, thinking that it's like part of their face that came off,
This is the best
because that's all you know.
concept for a horror movie right now.
Yes.
Like aliens.
That,
Like
that would be horrifying.
That's terrifying.
that's incredible.
I can't imagine a kid what they're going through right
That's
now.
so awesome.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I'm gonna think about that forever.
Because noises are coming out of the face.
Yeah, but nothing's moving.
Weird.
This is great.
Yeah.
Thank
But
you, thank you for that.
you're
image.
welcome. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So speaking of kids, you got a little COVID baby on your hands, didn't you, bud?
Oh
Hey.
snap! He'll be 3 weeks to 3 weeks next Tuesday.
Ooh. 3 weeks. Congrats,
Baby
man.
warrior
Thanks.
has made it into the realm of the living.
Finally, bro.
So full name?
Warrior Soul 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 Hacus. I'll say it in Spanish.
Did you? Were people gonna say SOL?
Yeah.
Soul? Really?
Some people have said it already.
Because I guess Spanish.
That's
makes
why.
sense.
Yeah.
What does soul mean in Spanish? SOL.
Son.
That'd be kind of dope.
It was. We thought about it. We thought
So-
about it.
But you were thinking on paper,
Nah, not
No?
even just.
because that's always my biggest. That's always my biggest worry. Like when I was a kid, my full name is Mark Anthony Berardo. I'm named after my father, but they called me Tony to the day.
Right.
So why call me Mark Anthony if you're not gonna? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I had to say Tony on all my forms, but then the teacher
okay.
would be like Mark Anthony,
Yeah.
you know. But then I'm
Nova.
thinking same thing.
Same
But then I'm
thing.
thinking if you name, your kid SOL, every person would spell it SOUL.
Oh yeah.
Just
so you-
just cause.
Yeah, you're going to destroy that child's life. So you made a good move, I think.
Nice.
SOUL. Although it does make me wonder when you guys announce, which I love the name by the way, but you got to make sure there's pressure on you. Because the name Warrior, if that kid grows up to be a pussy, that is going to be the biggest insult to that poor child.
Yo.
Like it's not saying I'm just saying.
Yo, you're fucking.
But could you
Yo,
imagine?
That will be hysterical.
Like, what if
because
he just
you know me?
Right.
You know me.
And you're going to make that kid.
I'm gonna. Oh, he's
Yeah.
gonna get it from me every day.
For sure.
Every day.
It's like, bro, where are your swords? Where are your Chinese throwing stars? Like,
I know I'm gonna use it.
you have to.
Like
You should just
like,
start
jump off the
training him
couch.
for
Like,
wrestling
don't-
right now.
Yo.
Just drive him up to Jacksonville to AEW and
Like, bro, his uncles are the Usos. We're in.
That's right, dude.
We're
You're
in
good.
here.
oh, there
so
you go,
funny.
right there.
Yeah.
Just
But yeah, the pressure part, that's funny. I felt no pressure until now.
Sorry,
so,
dude.
thanks. I didn't even think of that shit.
nah, that kid's got way too many cool people looking
Yeah.
out for him.
That's a fact, man.
For real.
That kid is super blessed, bro.
It's all who you surround yourself with, man.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
only surround myself with the best, the artistically best.
That's right. Hence,
Hence.
Hence,
the reason we're here.
Henceforth.
hear ye, hear ye.
hey. So, what is it like being a new dad? That's exciting.
It's fucking awesome.
That's cool.
It really is. And I'll tell you why real quick. Because I've obviously, because I am a new father, I've been thinking about it a lot. Like prior to him being here, like announcing that April was pregnant and everything, people give their opinion, their advice, what you should do.
Of course.
What do people say? Make sure you get some sleep. Make sure you sleep when the baby's sleeping. Don't do this. Get a lot of diapers.
gentle
Don't worry
with
about
yourself.
be gentle with yourselves. Like,
'Cause
don't
they
worry
know.
about clothes because they're gonna grow out of it quickly. Embrace every moment because they change so fast.
Sure.
All that shit to me
Yeah.
was stupid, pointless shit. Okay. I know it.
Yeah.
I know it.
You've
Why
read
do
the
I know
books.
it? Why do I know it? Because I've been blessed to have a wife who loves kids and chose nannying as an occupation,
Yeah.
as a side hustle.
Right.
So I've gotten to raise all these children. So I've gone through the no sleep and
Yeah.
the no this and the be gentle and da 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 da. Even though they're not my kids, I
Right.
get that attached. We get that attached. That's why people want us to watch their kids.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah,
we
it's
don't.
like-
we're not fucking just nannies.
How could you? Yeah, like
we
if you're
fucking-
watching
yeah.
kids, you're gonna get attached.
we love
gonna,
these
yeah.
fucking kids. Henceforth, Elliot, Hector's son. I fucking love that kid to death. Like
Good practice.
great practice.
Yeah.
We had him. How old?
He was 5 months, I think.
5 months, bro.
Wow.
5
And he's what,
months.
3 now?
He just turned 3. Yeah.
Nice.
5 months. So it's like I've been through this. These guys are pussies.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
when you know something is going to happen, you prepare yourself as
Right.
a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mentally, spiritually. I know I'm not going to be getting sleep.
Yeah.
I know this. I know I'm going to need diapers. I know he's going to grow out of this shit quick.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That is pointless. What you should have told me was how hard it was going to be for my wife to recover from a C-section.
Right.
You know, that I had to take care of 2 children because technically she turned into a fucking child. 2 children rather than 1. Like how it was going to affect me to have a child in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Like these are things I wish I would have heard that I just.
Well, it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of good too, right? Hey, bud. That's not good. Sunday was calling that back. But that's kind of good though. I mean, I guess because it's a better time to have a kid now because you could reflect, you could sit back. There's no pressure to go out to the park and hang out.
We literally like I was psyching myself out.
Right.
All the way like the day before to the day, psyching myself out like shit. It's getting real. And then he came out and they put him in my hands. And when I looked at him, I was like, I know exactly what to do with this motherfucking baby.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's awesome.
When people are like, your life is going to change forever, you're going to find another level of love that you've never felt before. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I know what to do with this fucking kid.
Yeah.
And we're chilling, bro.
Yeah. That's
chilling.
awesome.
This kid is so chill.
That's awesome. Yeah. Even though I was over there now, he didn't do anything. Just napping the whole time.
Nothing.
I'm like, this childcare
We've
thing's
taken
easy.
him to breweries already twice with bands, loud bands playing. He sleeps through the whole thing.
Wow. It's awesome.
He's just like,
He's saving all his energy for when he becomes a warrior.
Yep.
ooh.
I don't even remember how I was before Elliot came around.
Different dude.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But even like, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. But I literally don't know. I think completely differently.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Like I just want to be a good role model to him. You know, that's something that I definitely didn't care about
Right.
in the past.
I don't care who the fuck is looking up to me.
So that changes things, but yeah, man, I don't remember who I was like, and I don't want to.
Yeah. No shit.
Honestly.
And because that was, 3 years ago. It's not that
Yeah.
long ago. Yeah, that's what I always hear is when you have a kid, you have a profound, unexplainable like switch that goes off to where you're just a totally different person. Like you don't. It's not
that's the
something you
thing.
plan on,
I love
right?
that it's different like that. Like
Yeah.
it was different for him,
Right.
and it was different for me. I honestly feel like I didn't change. I have not changed.
I also want to point out that I didn't take care of any kids. Like no.
I had no experience at all.
I had
doing
no
this.
choice.
Yeah.
Okay, these motherfuckers was in my house every time I got home from work. I'm like, who's this? But like, it changed differently for him. Like, I don't feel to my core that I've changed who I am, and that's because I've spoken to a lot of people, Hector included, before Warrior got here, who said that I'm a fucking cool person to be around. If I just be myself, he's gonna be a fucking cool person. So many people said that to us, so I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking change.
And you're a big kid anyway.
And I'm a fucking big kid.
I think-
I'm waiting till he's 3 so I can clothesline his ass.
Yeah, I do. I think that's the big thing that a lot of people don't understand. Because I've been around kids too my whole life, and I realized that I have a natural like I'm ready to be a dad just because I think if you're a kid at heart and you could appreciate, because we were all babies at one
Facts.
point. Yeah. When we talk to other people, we forget sometimes that all of us were babies. And whoever we surrounded ourselves with has shaped us to who we are today.
Right.
And sometimes you look up and down the street, or you look on Facebook or social media, whatever. There's people that, they got to roll, bad roll the dice, and they just were surrounded by shitty people.
Yeah.
And they ended up being a shitty person. So it's almost like the more you surround yourself with positivity and fun, and
bro.
being a kid, that kind of like oozes into the kid, right?
Exactly. And we got a pretty awesome group of friends.
Yeah.
Well, you're not friends. Your uncles and aunts. Everybody. Everybody. We're like, this is your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, your tia, your tío, your primo.
That's what saved me, man. Is my inner kid.
Yeah. Keeps you sane.
A few years ago, I did some hypnotherapy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Have you done it before?
Never. It was the first time.
Oh, I've always wanted to do it.
It was cool. It wasn't what I thought it was.
Where was it at?
It was here in town in Lakeland. I just looked her up, got some reviews. She seemed legit, so I went over and I made an appointment. Wasn't crazy expensive or anything. I think it was like $70, something like that.
That's not bad.
But yeah, I was, struggling with some mental health issues, and I had been told that hypnotherapy would be like a good route to at least look into.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
So I did it, and basically what it is it's like meditation, but you're kind of like trying to recreate these events in your mind. So you're delving deep into like some, if it's traumatic, you know, it could be some scary stuff, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But you kind of got to go back in there to get some reasoning, I guess.
Right.
And so what I found out is, you know, and this is just trauma in general, a lot of us are just stuck in that age, you know. So I was essentially stuck as a kid, a scared kid, you know.
Right.
So, but
Sure,
that
that
inner
makes sense.
inner kid though is what, like, you have to heal him, and you have to, you know, like, go back and be like, hey man, it's okay, it's time to move on. Let's live our life, you know. And
Dude,
as you
so
can
true.
see, you know, like I love action figures. I love
Let's go.
video
That's awesome.
games.
Yeah.
Like that person who I was is who I've always wanted to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to go back and get them, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
No, respect.
holy. That's-
Bro, you know what's
and that was
interesting?
an awesome wave.
That
Like,
was
putting it.
deep. Yeah, that was awesome. It took a boring conversation we were having with Nova about Warrior
Just
Soul
fuck
to
that kid. Just-
You know, like people are always, oh, grow up. No.
Yeah,
why?
dude.
And that'll have.
I don't wanna
that'll
grow up.
make you
I'm a
have
Toys R Us
such a
kid.
More,
That's right.
like, awesome relationship with your kids.
yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Because here's the thing, is if you grow up by the time you have a kid, when you have a kid, that kid's going to have no one to relate to.
Yeah.
They don't know
Yes.
how to be an adult yet.
Right.
So you got 18 years of you need to like
You need to be the kid.
put it down a couple pegs,
Yeah.
you know, and not, you know, fucking trump this thing. You
I
need
love
to take
it,
it
bro.
easy.
I have this video on my phone. I keep it. It's of me and Hector here with his son Elliot, and we got cars lined up with a ramp to shoot it like over, and I'm filming. And I have it in slow motion, and it's
Sick.
like we're both like, "You ready?" He's like, "Ready!" And 1, 2, 3, and it goes, boom, and that thing takes off, and it's in slow motion. Looks so cool. When it lands, we all scream like, "Yeah!" And he's like, "Ah!" Like it was perfect,
Yeah.
bro. And it was just
That's rad,
three
dude.
dudes playing with cars.
That's
It
all it
was
is.
perfect, bro. Like
That's so great. Well, and you know, too, also another thing that I was thinking about as you guys were talking about this is that's just who you guys are, right? That's who I am too. I'm a geek at heart, and I related this to social media because, you know, when I started this podcast, I was doing things like my first episode I think was about my Crohn's, and I was just venting,
yeah.
because I was upset that I couldn't figure out, you know, how I could fix, and ended up plant-based was the way to go, but it took years, right, to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I started I found myself in this rabbit hole of like on social media, Instagram in particular, because if it's not on the gram, it's not true, right? So
Facts.
so I found myself like posting things and saying things that they were me to a sense, but then it was also kind of like I might have maybe buttered it up a little bit more to make it seem more appealing to other people.
Make it,
You know what I'm
make it
saying?
social media worthy.
Yeah, almost make it social media. But then recently, this is where I bring up being a kid, is there's no way I can not be a geek. Like like you know me.
Yes.
And heck, we're best friends already. So
You didn't
just-
even know it. Congratulations.
I can't not talk about fun shit. So I started this new thing on YouTube on my channel where it's just called Geek Out. And it's 4-minute clips, 5-minute clips of me just like reading articles and talking about geeky shit. So like I just posted one where I forget his name, the director of the new Flash movie, Andy Savicci
yeah.
or whatever. I don't know his name.
that guy.
That guy. So he posted something of Michael Keaton's old. Have you seen this photo on Instagram? They just posted it yesterday.
No.
So it's Michael Keaton's old 1980s Tim Burton costume, but it has a little blood on it. And he posted it. No caption, no hashtag, no nothing. But they're filming the new Flash movie. And it's supposed to be like Flashpoint where Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are coming.
Right.
So Michael Keaton was rumored to maybe be about it, maybe not. But now he's
I
in it.
remember that. Now he's in?
He's in.
Oh,
According to this.
I knew the rumors were
Right.
out there, but now he's in?
Because who else would? I mean,
else?
it's Tim Burton's
Yeah.
costume
That's right.
for
yeah.
sure.
Ooh.
So I did a 4-minute rant where just me pretty much ranting on how excited I am and reading an article. That gets more views than anything. But it's not because it's interesting. It's because that's me.
Yeah.
Like if I
You're
posted
truly
something,
being authentic and
That's
living
right.
in the moment.
like I said something about Jennifer Aniston before, and I just made it up, and I didn't talk about it anymore because
Because it was the moment.
you would read right through me. Like, I'd be full of shit because I wouldn't know.
You would have been,
But,
you'd be like, what?
Yeah, but Brenda and April could talk about that shit forever. Me, I can't do it.
No, facts.
So I think that's a big part of like being a great father and a great human is just being just who you are and
Yes.
talking about stuff that you like and you're passionate about. Because if you're only going to have 40 years, 50 years, 60 years on this earth, do it
Might
with
as well.
shit you like.
Absolutely.
And that's a really short amount of time. 40,
So
50,
short.
60
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to get,
Shit, I'm going to be 36.
yeah.
I just turned 36.
We're
I
probably.
only got 4 years left.
Damn. I'll see you there, brother.
All right, cool, man. But that's the thing, right? Is like you don't know how long you're on this earth. So like why spend time doing shit and talking about stuff you don't like,
Yeah.
Fuck the money, fuck the likes, like just do what you do and
And
that's it.
do it well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I look at it like relationships too, right? Like we don't know if are you married?
No.
Girlfriend? Divorced?
No. I am separated.
Congrats.
I am single.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
That's
you. very
awesome.
much.
Absolutely,
Well
bro.
So Tinder, here we come.
I'm a firm believer that relationships are just abuse.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Don't at me.
That's true. That's so true though. They are abuse in some way though. In most ways.
Yeah. I just feel that forcing people
Sorry.
together for long periods of time and, just, you gotta make it work.
So much pressure.
So much pressure.
Yeah.
And it's not a recipe for some good, mental health.
That's right. Yeah, I think tension in a relationship and resentment are the two things you got to be careful about.
Resentment.
But resentment. I think if you asked, at least my father, because they're divorced, my mother and father. I just had her on the podcast actually a couple weeks ago. Hilarious because I got her drunk and talked about the divorce.
Oh,
You need to check it out. It's hilarious. But I can only speak for them when I say that they both, I think, and sorry, Dad, I know you listen to podcasts, but I think I would challenge to say that maybe, she didn't work as much as she could have because she was trying to figure out what she had to do. But that's just how she is.
Yeah.
And my dad maybe wanted it to be something different and wanted to change her to, get a corporate job and get a 401k and all. That's just not her.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I think resentment is a big part of why people get separated. And I think if you can at least do that and not have resentment in a relationship, I think you're there, man. I think you have, but no one knows.
Yeah.
But I think that's like 80%.
Well,
of it.
resentment is what definitely killed it for me.
So maybe it's 100% of couples. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I said like 80%. It might be 100%.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a big part of what
Yeah.
killed it for me, and it started off small, but over time, it just rotted.
Yeah, dude. It's so crazy.
And you can't really be mad at either party. You
No.
know, like, it's they thought, but again, this is why like a society's idea of what a relationship should be
Sure.
is kind of twisted, and it comes from a lot of different spectrums. So when people get into it, what his idea of a relationship is totally different than what hers is.
Exactly. Yeah. Because they were raised two different ways.
Yeah.
And same thing when you actually get married too. That was interesting when we had our wedding, is because we paid for it ourselves, but we just found a venue in Winter Park.
Right.
And it was just, 4 walls. It was like an old mill or something. And you just pay $1,000 and you get a rent out for the day. Everything's BYOB. They give you tables and chairs. But then every single, 125 people that we invited, maybe like 50 of them throughout the year that we were planning it was like, why aren't you having it at a church? And I go, why do you have yours at a church? Well, because I'm religious. I go, okay. Well, you can't be religious somewhere else. Like, well, just because it's good for you doesn't mean it's good for me. But it's so funny how, to bring up your point, that people have these different like ways that they should be doing things. And then that could almost like, because I could tell Brenda, she was super happy the way we did things. But like as she was getting these little fucking,
These people.
like a friend would bring over the magazine and be like, hey, you shouldn't get that $500 draft. Get this
These
$1,500.
bitches were bringing over
And then
magazines.
I would look at that friend and I'd be like, I'm about to disown your ass.
Let
You
me
need to
talk to you
relax,
outside
bro.
real quick.
That's right. We're not friends with that cunt anymore. But, you could just tell like we, as a society, we pick up these little stupid things that we invented. We invented even the ring. You guys know the whole story about the ring? It was invented by, not K Jewelers. Who came before them? By a jewelry company in an ad where you have to give a ring in like the 50s or 40s.
Right.
They invented this thing where you have to give a ring to show your love. It was invented by a jewelry company. It's not even like a thing
American
going back
It's
to
not
like.
like a church
Yeah.
thing or a religious
No,
thing.
it's not a religious
Fucking-
thing.
It's
But what's
marketing.
ironic is churches literally
embrace it.
embraced
they
it and was like,
blessed it.
you know what? This is a fucking good idea.
Let's do this.
We can change this whole script.
How can
whatever
we make
script.
money?
But
Exactly.
that's how.
Yeah.
That's how it fucking works.
And money's another thing that ruins relationships. Yeah. So if it all starts with resentment and the wedding and spending a shit ton of money,
You're
you're already in debt.
yes.
you're like already got like 1 foot in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
marriage grave.
That's what me and the wife were saying. We're like, we're gonna pay for it ourselves. I was gonna pay for half. She was gonna pay for half, and we saved separately. And then of course we got donations and people helped us
Right.
out at the wedding.
Thank
and
you.
then we split that.
Booyah.
You know, we go to dinner, we split the bill. Like we do everything that we can to make things as less tense when it
You
comes
guys
to
function as a
resentment.
team.
Yeah,
As a team.
and that's
Absolutely.
It's always a team.
And that's what it is. Like
Key.
Yeah.
Key. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I know they put the word relationship on it, so now you have to think love and
There's all
whatever
these
comes
levels,
with it.
yeah.
But everybody forgets you got to be a fucking team.
You're
Gotta
a
be
unit.
Okay, you got to be a unit. You got to be best friends. I've waited 8 years to marry
Mm-hmm.
April. Everybody always asking why you ain't get married, have the kids. We're like, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Like, who are you?
I'm not going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. We're fucking
Right.
good. We got to know each other inside and out, left
Mm-hmm.
and right. That's my motherfucking road dog. I don't get tired of seeing her every day. We work together in the fucking
That's it.
same company. That's my friend.
That's it.
Like, that's what it is.
Friends.
Yeah.
That's-
Friends is
Yeah,
key.
friends.
Yeah.
And then I get to fuck her.
You're right. You get
What?
to have sex with a friend.
I'm having
Consented.
It's a friend. Yes, friend with benefits. And
Very
now
exciting.
now I got a kid from her.
Can't
Even
beat
better.
It. Can't beat it.
That's it, bro.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
It's so crazy though.
You got a dope ass kid from a shitty ass person. So I don't
Yeah.
know how you did that. That was all you.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you know
I
now.
say that loud and proud for the podcast. You got a dope ass kid
Yeah.
from a shitty ass person.
That's right.
She whose name shall not be spoken.
That's
right.
how she is in our phones.
But if you're listening for whatever reason, you know who you are out there.
don't worry, I'm gonna send you the link, bitch.
And I don't even know you. I don't like you already.
I'm gonna send you the link, bitch.
But yeah, it's one of those weird things where I've been looking at that thing a lot differently because I did it in a different route. You know, my dad always bust my chops, and I know he's just busting chops just to do it. But you know, I'm 36, I haven't had a kid yet. But I did this on purpose. You know, just like you, there's no rush, right? But me, I wanted to buy a couple houses. I wanted to rent them out. I want to make some money. I want to save up. I wanted to do certain projects. This was my passion. I wanted to get good at this.
Yeah.
And, you know, now that we're there, now we're going to start trying. But I think if we rushed it, just like a lot of people do, right? If we rushed it, then we wouldn't be in a financial situation, a mental situation. Talk about mental health. I mean, a kid, as you guys know, is a lot of work. And I'm looking forward to it, but I'm in a situation now where if something was to happen at home, I can handle it because I'm, you know, in a situation where I took care of myself.
That is probably the number one benefit of not waiting, but at least just playing your cards right in life is, you know, do your thing, get the experience in life, and then have a kid. Because if I were to have had a kid in my 20s,
Right.
like most of the females in my family, and I say females because I have mostly girl cousins, were pregnant by the time they were 18 or 19, which is mind-blowing because
It's a team
when
mantra
I
right
was
there.
18 and 19, I was a fucking loser. Like, I cannot imagine
Yeah.
what type of
To have a kid,
traumatic
yeah.
stuff I would like have done to my child, like put him through or her. You
Well,
know?
bro, and not to interrupt you, but I mean, kids don't even develop. Like the brains physically aren't even developed by like 25.
Oh my gosh.
So how can you even handle having a kid at that young age?
you're relying on your parents probably, which you know.
Hopefully you have good parents.
Yeah, and
Alright.
a lot of us don't. But yeah, now financially, just with life, experience in life, having my child is the least nerve-wracking thing in my life.
Nice. Nice.
Because you took your time, did it the right way.
Because
Yeah.
I think I was 32 or 33
Yeah.
when he
Nice.
was born. Yeah, you know, so
Oh, so we're all about the same age, which
Yeah,
is why we're into all the same.
Exactly.
stuff.
Exactly. I told you, bro. I was looking forward to this.
It's fantastic. Yeah, yeah. This will definitely be. We'll have to do this again. Maybe we'll do it like at your shop.
oh, that was cool.
Hell yeah.
That'd be sick. Yeah, yeah. because then I need to get some work done anyway. So we can have that. But yeah, we can go forever. But it's so funny because as I'm getting older, and I think a lot of it has to do with it too. I was having this conversation with a buddy of mine that just bought his house, and he's like 32, 33. I bought my first home when I was, what was this, 7 years ago? So yeah, I guess it was 29, 30. And as you get older, it's so funny that you still don't have your life together. Like even at 24, 25, 26, like you think you do.
Yeah.
But
well,
then
what is having your life together?
That's what I was going to say is like,
Okay.
what's the perfect formula? And the answer is there is no perfect formula.
Right.
It's, you just got to surround yourself with good people, and the people you hang around with, you got to give them love. And, I think relationships, that's a big part of it to where, I mean, God forbid something happens with me and Brenda. I don't think it will, but you never know, right?
Yeah.
And all my relationships that I said I love you at, I thought I was going to marry those broads. Turns out I didn't. And then, you meet this one and you're like, oh, this is the love of my life, right? But really the only thing you could do is just give each person
The best that you can.
the best that you can and not hold grudges from past relationships and all that bullshit. Because I've had friends that have been married for a year and got divorced.
Quick.
And I've had friends that have never been married that have been together 18 years.
Right.
And it's almost like, what is the formula? I don't think there is one. And I think if we listen to society and we keep getting this pressure, it's just going to make everything worse.
Oh, yeah.
Going off that, I just posted today. I'm getting back into doing my black and white photography with a quote from different places and different people.
They don't like to be called that, by the way.
So I just posted this, and it reads, "They are not poor that have little, but they that desire much. The richest man, whatever his lot, is the one who's content with his lot."
Ooh,
From Dutch proverb.
I like that.
So I felt like that was like
That was
perfect for what
appropriate.
you were saying.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's like you gotta be that is being successful
That's
or prepared to be a parent, because you never know when you're gonna be ready to be a fucking parent. You feel it because you feel it.
Yeah.
Like, but then it gets here and it's like, all right, show up.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Like,
Yeah.
this is what you wanted.
And we never know what really we're going to do with anything, right? Like with work, with job, you just got to give it 100%. I think a lot of people, when they go into like a new job, especially with this pandemic, man, there's been a lot of my friends that had to find new jobs, and they're like, this, I'm not getting paid as much as I did in my last job. I go, but dude, you don't have your last job.
Right.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, we got to move on.
Yeah, you're talking about,
move on.
yeah, we didn't have the pandemic 2 years ago. Okay, so what? Who cares? Like, things have changed. You have to evolve, which, by the way, we didn't use the utensils 150 years ago. So over time, things get better.
Right.
And that's what we have to understand is the grass is not greener 10 years ago.
No.
I mean, I was having another convo with my buddy, and I was like, what was the best thing about 100 years ago? Nothing. What was better 100 years ago than it is now? What did
I'm here now.
you're here
All
now?
aspects of life have improved.
All of it. Technology, houses. By the way, we
don't
now
have
all
to toss our shit outside our windows.
and by the way, everyone can vote. Yes. There's one bathroom for each race, gender, and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Like Nova, what part of the bus do you ride?
In the front.
In the front, not the back. It used to be the back.
It used to be.
No, sir, not no more. Things have drastically gotten better.
That was perfect. Yeah.
100 years ago was 1921.
Oh, you're good with numbers.
God, man, that's. I mean,
Crazy.
It just. I'm still
Think about
stuck
that.
as being a kid and like thinking back 100 years
Right.
from being a kid.
Correct. Well, here's what's even more madness about 100 years ago. This will blow your mind. You ready? 100 years ago was one person ago. That was
sorry,
your grandmother. Grandmother, one person ago.
Yeah.
Oh my
generation-wise.
gosh.
It's one person.
And she just passed away.
Yeah. 100. Get this. You ready?
Damn.
Wait, hold on. Did she?
Yeah, she
Oh,
did.
Sorry, I breezed right past that. I didn't mean to.
Don't worry, bro. She's here
Passed
too.
away. Oh, yeah, anyway.
Anyway, you can put her in the power warrior. Damn.
Sorry, Grandma. But here's even, because we were talking about the bus, and I thought that was funny. But slavery was 3 people ago.
Yeah, they were talking about. I was watching NBA on TNT with Shaq
Right.
and
Yeah.
Charles and Kenny Smith, and Kenny brought that up.
Yeah.
Actually, was that so for him, slavery was only,
a grandparent ago, two grandparents ago, right.
And for his kids, it's just himself and
two more.
So it's still extremely fresh for some people in this country, and
people don't get that.
Yeah, it's like,
madness. It's so crazy. And and here's what's even more nuts too is not only was that a couple people ago, but like 1776 was when the nation was founded, right? Our forefathers, Independence Day, all that shit,
all that good stuff.
But 1776, it's the year 2000. Think about that. Is so short of amount of time ago.
Yeah, it's like a second in historic time.
It's crazy when you think. So really, people
I'm gonna
started
bow out of this
Right.
topic. You guys are fucking with my mind,
bro. But people are starting now. We're starting to kind of understand life, right? 300 years ago, the country was founded.
Yeah.
Like we're so new to this thing, it's weird to think about. And then you even go back even further. You talk about how new is fire, how new is electricity, how new is all this stuff, and when you could sit back and say that the world is turning to shit, and I can't believe what's happening out there and all these shootings and all. Yes, it's bad, I get it, but it's not as bad as what it was 100 years ago.
We have Teslas.
We have Teslas now.
Okay.
They drive themselves.
I've got a AC
spaceship.
unit in my beautiful home.
Yes.
Yes, bro. So that's what I always tell people is, like my buddy, he's unemployed. He's been collecting unemployment. You know who you are because I just talked to you today. Piece of shit, get your life together. But, he's saying, hey, listen, unemployment, I'm going to wait. His exact words were, I'm going to wait until employers decide to keep raising minimum wage. I'm like, all right, hold on. First of all, I get it. Houses are expensive. Cost of living's going up. iPhones are $1,000. I get it. But everything he was throwing out to me, all those points where it's like, this costs this money, this costs this money, this. I was like, you don't have to buy any of that. You don't have to buy any of that. You could live off $30,000 a year, but you choose not to because you want the cool shit.
Yeah.
Right.
You want the new Xbox. You want the new phone. That's a you problem. That's not a corporate problem.
Yes.
You can't blame Universal and McDonald's for not paying you enough.
Yes.
Because you want to live a luxurious Kanye West
Also, I'm
lifestyle.
glad they're not paying enough because then your ass gets there and you give half-ass. I'm still waiting for my fucking
Right.
Big Mac.
Yeah.
that you did.
What's the? I haven't caught up on that. What is,
They've been pushing everything. I think most companies are getting. I don't know if it's a state thing or a country thing. I think the bill got denied for the nation.
Okay.
But I think Florida is gonna approve $14 minimum wage. I think. Don't quote me on that. But
So you can go to the McDonald's and they can give you all the fucking attitude in the world.
That's right.
Like,
So
But it's
I'm
all
just
about the
gonna-
people, though, right?
I'll
Yeah.
raise my tattoo prices then.
oh,
Yeah.
how about
If
them
They're all getting
apples?
paid. If they're all getting paid.
I mean, I can't be getting nickel and dime here.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Everyone's getting $14 an hour.
That's right,
Listen,
dude.
bro, people already complain about our photography and makeup prices.
Yeah.
I'm like, thus let me remind thee that I am the fucking shit.
Yes. Well, and it's also the fault of like Bezos and Amazon
Yeah.
because, and I found myself. This is where I put down my phone for a little bit because I found myself like I'll order something on Amazon. I don't know if you guys ever deal with this, but you press buy now. You have the one click tab, right? Buy now, and then it says it'll be here next week, and I'm like,
I said
why
by now.
Why can I get it in 2 days? And then I have to
said
catch myself.
by now.
I'm like, how shitty of a human am I that I can't wait? When 4 years ago, this service did not exist. They were selling books online. But I'm such an asshole that I need it in 2 days. And by the way,
here tomorrow.
Don't
and it wasn't like-
care how I want it now.
and it's not like it was a fucking my fucking Humira shot for my Crohn's disease. Like it was a spatula for my pizza oven. Like it was not a big deal.
What am I supposed to do from now until then if I want to cook pizza?
Do I have to use a regular spatula? Like it's so weird, dude. But we feel like we're owed the new spatula. We feel like we're owed $14 an hour. And newsflash for all you bitches that are complaining about $14 an hour minimum wage, here's what you want. You don't want it to be a high minimum wage because guess what? People like yourself are going to start charging more for services, and you're going to put all the local businesses under
Completely.
because they can't afford minimum wage.
Yeah.
So if you had to put it in a spectrum, do you go to more chain restaurants and corporate places, or do you go to little tattoo spots? Do you hire local photographers? The answer is the latter. You hire more local than anything.
Absolutely.
So fuck corporate. If anything, we should be saying, hey, we don't need to work at your spot. Let the locals pay what they want. We got it. And that's it. Because if everything goes up minimum wage wise, everything's going to go up. Look at the housing market. Look at all this shit. So that's what we got to be careful of too.
Yeah, people have this mentality. They think that once, I'll get $14 an hour, but everything stays the same. No, that's
bro.
not how it goes.
No. I mean, look at where, I don't know if you guys asked your parents, but my parents bought their house 38 years ago. I think, 39 years ago. They were married for 3 or 4 years, but they bought it for $50,000.
Yeah, you're not going to get that unless it's like condemned.
Right. And it was a nice house.
April's parents talk about it all the time. I don't know how much, but I'm pretty sure it's something crazy like that.
Right.
Like, they'll show me pictures, and I'm like, damn, there was no houses across the street.
That's right.
Like, they were like one of 3 houses on the entire street.
Oh, yeah, the north side of Lakeland was very rural.
Can you take a guess why things got so expensive over 36 years? Why the housing market is now $250,000 for the same house? Because people get paid more.
Boom,
people make more money.
That's
capitalism. More companies come up. More jobs happen.
Yeah.
People get. So now the housing market's like, ooh, now we can start raising prices.
I think I'll take a piece of this.
So if you're bitching about $14 minimum wage and you want it to go to 20, guess what? Your rent's going to be higher. Everything's going to be higher.
Yeah, man. And people are already bitching about rent being high.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to live the same life with more.
That's right. That's right. With
the fuck?
Well, and taxes too. That's another thing where,
too.
like, what happens if the government says, "Hey, man, instead of 7%, we're going to charge you 20% now."
Yeah,
you're going to have to figure out a way to pay that.
So $14 an hour. My first job, I think minimum wage was $4.25. I worked at Cece's Pizza, washing dishes.
Oh, nice.
Yes, sir. And then I
Cece's.
think my highest paying job outside of tattooing, I think I made $14.75.
Right.
And I was like, this is the best money I've made.
Greatest, yeah.
And
I'm rich, bitch, man.
And it's, but like I had already worked for a few years, in the I think this was even after my military service, so people are working at McDonald's and $14 an hour. It's crazy, man.
That's nuts, dude. Well, and it also makes me. Here's what we need to focus on if we were, I don't believe in the presidency. I don't think there should be a president. I think it's a stupid idea.
Yes.
But we'll get into that a little later. Right. But I think if we had to fix one thing, we need to make humans just more comfortable when they're not working. So like the poor communities, we got to figure that out.
Yep.
We got to fix, women that are single that have kids. Because here's the thing. If you get paid $14 an hour, you go to work at McDonald's. If that person is a shitty human being, when they get to work, they're going to treat work shitty.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter the amount of money you get paid. We need to fix people.
Yeah.
And money, as contrary to popular belief, money does not solve all your problems.
It doesn't.
No.
More money, more problems.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. I mean, the only thing I think it helps is maybe a little bit of security if you have a kid or you have a family. But, I did a whole podcast on this too where you make enough money. If you make $30,000 a year, you make enough to live. Now, again, you're not going to have the cool shit. Mm-hmm. But if the cool shit didn't exist, I have this conversation with Brenda fucking every day. Before I got here, I had this conversation. She fucking looked up something at Target. She's like, ooh. And I'm like, ugh.
No.
I know how that convo goes. But, I was like, babe, I know that looks cool, that tote or whatever she was looking at. I don't think it was a tote, but it was probably a tote. But I was looking at that and I was like, if that tote didn't exist, you wouldn't want it. The only reason we're going to go broke is if you look at stuff that people have. Like, yes, Kim Kardashian, they have all types of cool shit, all this makeup, and you want all this. But if you just stop looking at it, you'll have more money to yes, and you won't want it, and we'll do cool shit with that money instead of
That's a great, great methodology.
It's weird. And I could speak big time for this with the podcast because obviously, Nova, the last time you were on physically, you've done the virtual podcast.
I noticed the come up, bro.
This come up, is from some horrible decision making during COVID. But
But apparently not so.
yes, but also again, I have this argument with the wife as well. I make not enough money to have a job off the podcast, but I make enough to compensate buying some of this other stuff. So with the sponsorships and all that stuff.
Right.
But the only reason I buy this stuff is because I'm looking on YouTube, cool podcast setups, and like I'm searching for it, and then when I see it, I'm like, I gotta get this, I gotta get this.
Get it.
But I think that was a big problem with COVID, right? We probably all went down that Amazon YouTube hole.
My Craftsman tool collection.
Oh, bro.
Oh shit, are you decked out now?
I'm like a fucking.
That's
I
sick.
am like Home Depot.
I am Home
I
Depot.
don't know. I got
And
a
now
wild
he
hair up
is-
my ass.
It's awesome.
Now he is action figures.
Action figures.
If I had to pick how many action figures you had, what if you could throw out a number? Because I see like 55 just in that little basket.
Yeah, I mean, I would venture to say close to, I don't know, maybe 300.
I have
Maybe.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. But this is
agree.
this is a dope pad.
That's
because it's
not
like-
even counting the Jurassic World one.
He's got every.
Jurassic World?
Okay.
Those are my sons, but
They're like the authentic, like from the movies, from like I come here when he's not home to take pictures of the dinosaur. Like my photography, I have pictures of the dinosaurs and the action figures, like in poses, like punching each other.
It's all his shit.
It's all
'Cause I've
it's
seen
all-
some of it. Yeah, that you did.
It's all his shit.
That's
I just come
hilarious.
here. I'll call him up and I'm like, "Hey, you home?" He goes, "No, I'm at work." I'm like, "Damn, you always fucking working. Can I go over and play?" And I come with all my camera equipment, bro.
It's a sick man cave, dude. So it's kind of good that you don't have a broad weighing you down.
yeah, no, who needs that?
Yeah, no one needs that. You wouldn't have this cool shit.
I'm very comfortable with doing my own thing.
That's awesome.
Me and my son just have a blast.
That's great, man. No, that's cool.
Proud of the journey, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I'm proud of the journey.
And speaking of Jurassic World, side note, so I think they just wrapped filming on the new one.
Ooh,
Nice.
I can't wait for that. Have you guys been in the movie since the pandemic
I
ended?
haven't,
No.
and I want to, but every time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the movies and watch that. They're like, oh, it's on HBO Max.
Oh, I
It
know.
ruined it for me, bro. I used to go just by myself.
I know.
They are taking advantage of that. They're gonna
Yes,
kill
dude.
the movie industry, man. Or at
Too
least the
late.
theater
Yeah.
industry.
Too late. And I'm a little biased because my first gig. I don't know if you know this. My first gig, my real job was at a movie theater. I
I
worked
always
at
wanted to work at a movie. Is
Regal
it true,
Cinema.
Is it true that you get to the posters?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my lord,
Not only
bro.
did you get the, I don't know how it is now, but Regal Cinema when I was 17, I think I worked there, was my first gig in Waterford Lakes in Orlando. Shout out Regal Cinemas, it's still there. But not only would you get posters anytime you want, you can request things and pre-order things as movies come out.
Oh my god.
And Wednesday is usually when they get the film for the week. Because,
Okay.
I mean, now I think movies come out like Thursdays and Wednesday. It's weird. But back then it was only Fridays, right? Movies would come out in theaters.
Yeah,
Only
I
Fridays.
do remember that. Yeah.
But we would get the film on Wednesday
So
afternoon.
you would have
The-
seen it
yeah.
2 days.
So
prior.
they would do showings like at 2 a.m. only employees.
I
And we
always
would go
wanted to
there. We
work
would
in
make
the
our own
theaters.
popcorn. Bro,
That's
it was
enough
legit,
to sell
dude.
me on a job. I tell you.
Dude, it was
You
legit.
can pay me whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. When y'all go get a job, reap the benefits, okay?
Yes.
Don't work at Taco Bell if you don't eat Taco Bell.
That's right.
Don't what the fuck?
Don't buy
If you're a
stocks and-
sneakerhead, go to Foot Locker.
Exactly.
Apparently it's hard to get a job there, but fucking work
Right.
your ass
Work
off.
there,
Prove
yeah.
yourself. Like
Exactly.
be smart about this
Yeah.
shit. Reap the benefits.
It's like here's a perfect scenario, right? Would you rather? We'll start with Hector. Would you rather work at a company that made a lot of money, that you would make, let's say, 80 grand a year? Let's just throw it out there, 80 grand a year, or 50 grand a year at a company, or not even 30 grand a year at a company that you just love working there. Let's
Oh,
say it's a movie.
love working there.
You would
30
pick the
grand.
30 grand over the 80. Nova?
Easy.
Same. So like again, movie theater is a good example where I would work there for, I think I got paid like $7 an hour. I think it was minimum wage, $7-8 an hour. I'm totally okay with that because I'm at the movie theater. Every time someone comes in, it's always like little stories and, you know, because this was before social media, right? So they would come in and they'd be like, oh my God, Susan, did you see the trailer? And I go, ma'am, I saw it. It's fantastic. Let's talk about it. Get over here.
Come over here to the side.
I'd give them their popcorn and we fucking shoot the shit. It was great. It was fantastic.
I was like, I loved working at Starbucks for that same reason.
Yes. And you like coffee?
I do now.
Because of Starbucks?
No.
Did you like
I never
coffee
drank
when
the
you were-
coffee.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I never drank the
I would
coffee.
have become a coffee addict.
Yeah.
Never drank the coffee.
And then, like, what about you? What got you into tattooing? Have you always had a...
Always wanted to. Well, so
What came first, the tattoo or the job?
Get ready.
The chicken or the egg? Did you
don't
get a
even
tattoo
know.
first? And then
No, since a kid, you know, just drawing comics, you know, like I'd get a comic and I'd be like, oh, that cover looks awesome. And I would sit there and I would try to just draw it, you know.
Sick.
Sometimes I would trace it, but I wanted to just like use it as a reference.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's what I like doing. And then when I became like a teenager and I saw a tattoo shop and I walked into a tat shop for the first time, I was like, what is this shit? Like, what in the fuck did I walk
allowed to
into?
get paid?
On the, you put that on your.
So wait a
on your
minute, you're
skin?
like just drawing shit on people and they give you money?
Oh my shit.
But then like a dumbass, I didn't listen to my gut. And I ended up joining the army at 22 and doing a bunch of boring shit after the army. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do, what I should have done from the fucking beginning.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you.
Boom
Yeah,
shakalaka.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing is how much time do we waste doing things that we, for whatever reason, do it for the money or, you know, we don't make ourselves happy. It's so crazy. And that was the big thing for me is I realized when I was like 25, 26 that I needed to do stuff for me.
Yeah.
I didn't need to care about anybody else. And, you know, I was lucky with Brenda, just like you're with April.
Yeah.
Is you just got to, if you want to find somebody, then they got to share that. But I've turned down so many relationships because they wanted me to do this or wanted me to do that. But I wish I did that at like 18. I wasted 10 years of my life on
Okay, so
doing shit, you know. to make other
So
people happy.
take my perspective,
Right.
because you both know the story. My first job was dancing professionally with Outkast 14.
Yeah.
But now as an adult, sometimes I look back and I'm like, damn, I didn't get to do certain things that everybody else got to do. Whether it be like just working job to job, going to prom, graduating, like stupid shit like that. So it's like,
What do I do?
yeah, in both aspects, it's like,
How do
oh
you top
shit.
that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean-
But it's funny. It's like people will be like, "Oh, bro, you had like the greatest life. Like you lived in China, and all this other shit." But then I can also sit here and be like, "Yeah, but I was never like normal
Yeah.
in a sense. Like when I would come back from tour,
Right.
I didn't really connect with anybody because they were talking about like fucking
Stuff that was going on in life.
stuff that was going on, in
Yeah,
life in
and
the
you were a
hood,
kid.
and I was talking about fucking what was going on in Iceland and
Right.
And the bitches I just fucked, like
Yeah.
like sorry,
Yeah.
So it was like there was a gap there. So regardless of I started early doing what I loved.
Right.
When I got older and doing what I loved was no longer paying the bills,
Sure.
I had to do the normal shit. So I
Right.
worked at Outback, in the gas station, and Starbucks, and the grocery store, and all this shit. So that was like a reverse punch in the face.
Totally. Well, and I think a lot of, to that point, a lot of that has to do with planning, right? So like a lot of people out there, if they're not currently doing what they love, the question is, and I had this convo with Brenda before we got married, you know, she was teaching, but she was getting paid dick. It was dick money. And I said, hey, if we're going to have a future, there's certain steps you need to take. And I'm not going to tell you need to find a job. I'm just telling you, I'm going to be with you forever. But I have plans and goals.
Yeah.
Our goals could be a lot bigger if you figure out what you want to do in life. I'll let you figure that out.
Nice.
Sure shit, she figured it out, decided to go into sales. Now she loves it.
Yeah.
But, you know, she has a passion for dancing and she always wanted to. But then I'm like, now you're in a situation where you're still young. You know, you're early 30s, 31, 32. And I'm like, save up money.
That's prime for a
It's
woman.
prime, yeah. Save up money, work this fucking sales job, make commission. And then maybe after we have a kid, maybe you open up a dance studio.
Ooh.
Save money and do it, but you could still
could
pursue
work
your
there.
passion. You can work there. You can still pursue your passion, but you just got to figure out the steps to get
and
there.
You're right. But planning goals, absolutely.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, with sometimes we get clouded with like people saying you have to do this by then. You have to do this by then. It's so. And I was a big proponent of like when I was in my 20s, I would tell myself, all right, when I'm 30, I need to do this. I need to do this. There's so much pressure from like everyone else, from my parents, from my friends. Everyone else was doing it, having kids. There was a lot of pressure. But then when I realized to step off and just do what I wanted to do and enjoy the time that I had on this earth,
Shit started to happen.
everything happened.
Yes.
Madness.
And looking back, I think I was kind of forced to do what I want because at the time I was moving to St. Augustine with a girlfriend, and I was trying to get a job transfer with my shitty job here in Lakeland that I was
To St. Augustine?
yeah, and it didn't pan out, and they were like, sorry, I was like, oh, okay, and so I was still going up to St. Augustine, and I just didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. Oh man! So
Offer abroad.
That was
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, everything happens for a reason, because that's where it finally took me to be in like a town where I don't know anybody.
That's right.
I don't have a job anymore. And I'm like, this is an opportunity, and I had saved up money for a while because I knew we were moving, So this was like probably the only, I didn't have a kid either, so it was like, this is it. It's now or never, man.
That's right.
And I was like, I'm doing it.
Sick.
I walked into a shop with some drawings. I didn't know anybody, man. First place I walked into, the shop looked cool, and I was like, I want to learn, guys. I'm
in.
Just whatever you guys need. I'm willing to do it. I just want to learn.
Yeah.
And they called me back literally the same day.
No shit. And boom, rest is history.
Rest is history.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sometimes we have to get challenged and we have to get pushed in those places. Sometimes it works out well. Sometimes it doesn't. But, I think if we just stay focused, man, and don't take this thing too seriously, that's the big thing.
Is important, because I didn't even finish my apprenticeship at that shop.
Wow.
I ended up moving back to Lakeland and finishing it
And
here.
you finish it here? Right.
So being focused on whatever it is, man, I was focused. Like
Yeah.
I wanted. Once I started it, I was like, nope, I've got
This
to
is
finish
it.
this.
Yeah.
And, when our parents were like, hey, you need to do this by this time and this by that time, it was different then, man. Like, it's different now than, remember, when our parents were our age, their parents would barely make it to 70 or 80.
Yeah.
And then you go back another generation, those people were dying of like polio and smallpox.
Yeah.
Like, so if you really think about it, like we're almost 40. I feel 20. I don't know what's in the fucking water.
No, what's in your water?
But bro,
What's in your wallet?
Well,
That's
also-
what it sounded like.
well, we should point out that I feel 20, but I don't have kids yet, so that's probably a big reason. My sleep is fantastic. I do whatever the fuck I want whenever I want. I have sex.
We do too.
I have sex constantly.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, well, not the last 9 months, right?
I was doing good until my friend decided she was gonna get locked down with a boo.
Oh,
So she didn't even talk to the man. That's
fucked up.
shady aftermath.
Another con of the pandemic.
Yep. Relationships are abusive.
Yes. Mentally, physically. But going back to passion, so I do want to mention some of this stuff, even though I'm going to have you guys on like 10 more times. So this is the Roadcaster. If anybody want to start a podcast, this is a good start. So we talked about this. You press record. Everything is adjusted here. It's recording off a micro SD card. And then you can also plug this in. I heard you say you have a Mac, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you could plug this into a Mac, and then you could just transfer everything to GarageBand with this. But this is the dials.
I'm good with the editing.
Yeah. So you just adjust it right there. And then, of course, like I said, you could change these sound pads. Like, you guys won't hear because you don't have the headphones in. You can have the sound pads on there specifically. But then the best part about this, which I love the most, is you can do, obviously, what we're doing live, but you can also do custom calls, too. So, like, let's say if we wanted to call April, and my phone is linked up to this, I can call her.
Awesome.
What?
Right?
And it would just...
And it would be kind of like a separate line, so she'd be on the podcast as well.
Yo.
Rad, right?
That's
rad.
dope.
So you can do it all here. And I always tell people, I tell all my friends, I had a couple friends that started a podcast, but the one thing I love about podcasts that I didn't know I would like so much is talking to people. Because you know me, I just like to talk. Mm-hmm. But recording it is great, because even last night, me and the wife because I've had her on the podcast numerous times.
He
She's
just
hysterical.
says stuff like this while they watch the show.
Yeah.
Like they did it for
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
So we watched that whole, and she's so introverted. It's hysterical when I get her on the mic because like I have to put the mic up super close because she's like, oh my God, Nightwalker, and I'm like, babe, a little bit closer. And so,
What was that, hun?
What was that, huh? No, check one. But when we just watched one of our first episodes, I'm like 114
God.
episodes in now, but we watched like one of our first ones together, and then I realized that's a fucking dope thing about podcasting that I didn't even think about. You know, because like photography, it's a different beast, right? You could look at photos of you in April 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's great. But you're not in the moment.
No.
Because memories are weird.
You have to. Yeah. You have
Memories
to
are a weird thing.
remember the moment, and
Yeah.
it's never the same.
Like, there's a reason why cops don't collect eyewitness views anymore. Is because going off someone's memory of what they saw at a crime scene isn't as concrete as actually having something there
Right.
for sure that's evident.
Yeah.
Like, someone's memory's fucked up. Like, I could tell you stories that I know happened when I was like 10. And then my parents would be like, dude,
Yeah,
that's
it didn't
not how it
happen
happened
like
at all.
that.
I was like, what? I was like, but I see
You're
it.
a
though.
liar.
I see it, right.
Yeah.
But what's cool about podcasting, especially if you video it like I do and put it on YouTube, we watched that and I was like, oh my God, in 20 years, our kid's going to be able to see this. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
Yes.
that's a sick
I
thing
think
about podcasting.
My body no longer functioning.
Correct.
And having Warrior watch all my dance videos.
That's
like,
right.
you tell your little TikTok punk friends that I did it first. Okay. Okay.
I went viral
Yes.
before any of your
First,
fucking
okay?
stupid friends.
You're
So,
just gonna
yes.
sound like the dad on South Park.
Let me show you these
With
tapes.
the Guitar Hero episode. He's like, oh yeah, I can play it. I can play it on the real guitar. See?
So my son's gonna bring his friends and be like, sorry if my dad starts talking about his past with dance. He's probably gonna do it.
Or like there's going to be like a hologram of just the TikTok videos from like the 2000s when your kids are older. As soon as your friends walk in, it's nothing but that.
Check it out.
But you know, that's what's kind of cool about podcast. So I really encourage you guys to do it because it's a lot of fun. It's relatively cheap. I mean, you could start small if you wanted to, but I always kind of looked at it like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the right way.
Yeah.
But I do the content that I like, and I don't care about how many people listen or subscribe or if I have sponsors or not.
It's for you.
It's
You
just
started
for me,
you.
and it's fun.
Yeah,
Like how many times
absolutely.
have you been around friends, and you're just shooting the shit over some drinks
Every time I
every
come
time,
here.
and then the next day you're like, "Fuck, dude, that was awesome. What did we talk about?"
Yeah.
And you remember like 2 or 3 things, but it was a 6-hour conversation.
Right.
Should have recorded that.
Damn.
That's how I feel
Perfect.
when I do the podcast.
Perfect. Hell
So for a couple $100, I think like $500, you get the Rodecaster headsets. That's cheap. You probably have some already.
Yep.
And then these mics,
stickers with your logo on it.
That's right.
You get those made.
Those are a la
you know.
carte. You get those at thebarado.com, by the way.
You're
And then these mics are $100 each. They're Rode mics, great mics. And then these little things are like $50 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Get
man.
it done.
This
But
they're
is the
great, too.
setup. I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
So
do something.
the concept we want to do is like radio DJ. So
Yeah.
we want to play music for because we both like have totally the same yet totally completely opposite
love
spectrums of music. So there are things that he teaches me like about heavy metal and all this shit and
Sick, yeah.
and then I come back with like
With
the
the
reggaeton,
reggaeton,
yeah,
yeah,
so,
you
you know
fucking
whatever.
spick, yo.
And so we want to play the music
Yeah.
and just talk about it and then see where the conversation goes.
That's rad. You know what I'd enjoy seeing from you guys, which would be cool, because you probably got a shit ton of stories tattooing as well.
Oh my god.
But Chappelle just came out with a new podcast. It's only on it's like Spotify. What's it called? It's like Luminary or Luminary. I don't know.
I don't know.
Russell Brand has a podcast on it too.
I'll
But it's
check it
called
out.
Midnight Miracle. And it's a podcast where they have music, and the music is the vibe of the conversation.
Nice.
And it's him and I think Mos Def was on it or something a few
Oh,
weeks ago.
nice.
Dude, it's a really rad podcast, but the way they do it, I could see you guys doing it that way because you can have music playing. Like with this, let's say you press it, you have the music playing, you can hear the music.
Yeah.
You could talk through it, you could feed the vibe, and then you could change up the vibe with another track. Like that would be sick. And by the way, no podcasts do that.
I like that.
Like think
idea.
about that. Like podcast is usually this.
This, yeah.
Guys, no music. So Chappelle kind of started this thing, but it's very, I guess the way he explained it, because I heard him on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about it, he's going to make all of these podcasts tracks, and he's going to turn them into vinyl.
Oh.
Whoa.
So you can actually buy like, 20 a vinyl
Yeah.
of like 20 tracks of podcasts, but it was meant for the vinyl platform,
nice.
not audio, through
See?
your phone. So the music aspect would be rad.
Chappelle, man.
So something to think about.
Definitely.
That would be awesome, man, because like Nova was saying, like throughout the day, my mood, swings.
Sure.
And with that, my music taste swings. So
Yeah.
like what I start listening to
It's called
earlier,
schizophrenia.
bipolar, like I have multiple personalities
Yes.
and they form themselves through my music taste.
They're all relatively nice.
I could start the day off listening to some Big Pun.
Ooh.
And then on the
ended
way
with
home, be listening to just some super sad country,
Nice.
and then get to the shop and start listening to
Metallica
some,
or something.
just
Slasher,
heavy,
yeah.
something heavy, and then
Slipknot or some crazy shit.
and way
Way
heavier.
crazier,
Ooh.
bro. Way crazier. Okay.
Yikes.
And then then I got some old school '90s hip hop's got to get thrown in there. All the stuff that I've accumulated throughout my life.
Nice.
Some Taylor
Music-
Swift and
Music is funky, right? Because it takes you to a place where a great example is on the way here, I was driving and I put on 90s, I think it was like 90s rock or something like that. And I haven't heard Beck or Bush or like, Live. Some of my favorite bands back then.
Oh, I feel it.
Come back again like a rolling.
I couldn't even
But
join
bro, what's funny is I was like singing this and I haven't heard it in 15
Word for
years,
word.
and I'm like, bro,
ingrained, bro.
it's ingrained. There's something special about music that, unlike memory, I think the way we remember music is different than anything we
Your
remember.
memory is the music.
Yes.
The music tells you exactly how you were feeling, when you were
Yes.
feeling it, where you were,
Crazy.
everything.
Crazy.
You're like,
Oh, yeah.
damn, yo.
So
when
many
Casey and
albums.
JoJo came
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
whoo,
Brings you back.
like, yeah, you know. Exactly. You know exactly where you were,
Yeah, dude.
walking down from the junior high school. Patricia was walking in front. She was looking in the back. I was like,
Uh-huh.
girl, you know you want me. Don't do that.
Dude, it jogs memory. It's
Yeah.
wild, man.
Yeah.
There's something special about it for sure. So I think that there's something interesting involved because I do love podcasting. I'm a big podcast fan. I listen to podcasts, but not as much as I listen to music because music is different. Podcast is cool because like people are listening out there. They're driving, hours away, right? And they might feel that they're in this room.
Right.
So there's something special about podcasting because you feel like you're part of the conversation.
Yeah.
It's in every speaker in your car, and there's something cool about it. But then music, man, it takes you to a different place. I always tell myself podcasts brings you there in the moment
Ooh,
today.
nice.
Music takes you places that you don't
Everywhere.
even. It takes you everywhere. Takes you
Perfect,
everywhere,
bro.
yeah. That should be a
Copyright
t-shirt.
that. Yeah. Damn, I was just about to say that.
Well, it's on the record. I said it first.
I'm gonna take a dab
I helped.
break, guys.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Do it up.
Shit.
So, and by the way, we're already at over an hour.
See, it doesn't feel like that, bro.
Yeah.
It never. Well, it never does when, man.
Well,
Oh, this is number 4 for me with you.
That's right.
And everyone gets longer and longer.
everyone does.
I'm with it. I'm so with it.
Yeah, the I think the last one
You're
we
the fucking
did.
man. If you're not subscribed to this podcast, what are you doing with your life?
What
okay?
are you doing with your
What are
life?
you doing with your life?
It's insane.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm just taking my medication.
That's right.
I am a registered.
Embrace the cough. Yo, so wait, I'll let him finish first.
Yes.
Wait.
No, I don't have a cough.
I was about to say.
Sorry, guys. I'll be okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
It's fantastic. Every time.
due to pandemic, I was broke.
Yes.
And his birthday came 16th.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, shit, I gotta get him something. Exactly everything that you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like moments between us are like fucking awesome.
Right.
Whatever we're talking about, it's just awesome. So I'm like, I started filming our sessions.
Genius.
at first without him even knowing, and then he started to catch on, so he would like react to the camera being there. So for his birthday, I made a 7-minute video clipped of just us preparing, saying a prayer, and then hitting it, and then the rest of the video is clips of us just dying and coughing.
No.
It's one of the funniest videos I've ever made in my life.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it had me in tears.
So I was like, that's why I was like, just wait, because it's coming.
And dude, that is the moment, man. Like that you know, 15 years from now, 20 years, you could watch that and still roll.
Oh yeah.
April
Laughing
already
at the
said,
whole
she was
time.
like, I can't wait till the kids are 18 so I can show them this is what your fathers were doing back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Hey, one thing I did want to say, because are you guys good, by the way?
Good with what?
Like time-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got nothing to do?
We
You
live here.
good? Okay.
Are you good?
I'm supposed to be at work.
I mean, and that's why minimum wage is getting raised, because people aren't showing up.
I'm going to medicate.
But the one thing I've been doing in Nova, I don't know if I did this last time with you, but one thing I've been doing like the last 10 episodes that I'm enjoying is I'll look up a piece of trivia or a fact.
I love trivia.
I know you do. But I ask the people on the podcast what that is, and it's relating to the industry. So I pulled up something from tattoos. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Now that you're nice and toasty, this might be good. So first we'll ask you this. When do you think tattooing originated?
Oh, so I actually do know a little bit about this. Tattooing originated, I believe, in like the Pacific Samoa Islands or the Polynesian Islands, something like that. Somewhere in the Pacific. It's an islander type traditional thing, you know, with the tattoo means scar actually. So they they go into battle and then start, doing their little tattoos on themselves, but yeah, tattooing's been around since the beginning of time, really.
For real.
Like,
Yeah.
it's one of the oldest, if not the oldest, like
Art form.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, you definitely nailed it, because the Polynesians in particular,
Yeah.
and the Islanders, they have the actual art of tattooing. And I think even The Rock does the same. I forget what type of tattooing
All
that's called.
style, the Polynesian, Samoan,
Because they use
tribal work.
because they don't use ink.
So there's a few different ways. There's an actual term for it, and I'm embarrassed that I forgot it. But again, I smoke weed on a daily basis. But there's an actual word for it. It's where two guys. One of the guys is like the stretcher of the skin, and the other guy is the one
That's
who
right.
Yeah.
he'll pound it in there and
Terrifying.
chiseled it in there.
So there's that version, but then there's also this. So let me read you this, because this blew me away. I did not know this. And before I even read this, I had this guy who's a graffiti artist that was on the show's name, EJ Nieves. Shout out EJ. But he just did a TED Talk on art, and he's a big graffiti artist in Florida.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this, and the first recorded piece of art was 40,000 years ago.
40,000
years ago. And it was a caveman that drew it in, I think, Indonesia, if I remember correctly. But he drew it with, whatever they did, clay or I don't know. But it was of cows getting herded by men. So he drew this. This was the oldest form of art.
It's insane.
Nice.
40,000 years ago.
So fucking
Madness. So anyway, I looked that up, and then I'm gonna look this. I looked this up, and I was like, this is even more terrifying. Tattooing has been practiced across the globe since at least Neolithic times. Wow. As evidence by mummified preserved skin, this ancient art and the archaeologist's record, both ancient art and these finds of possible tattoos suggest tattooing was practiced by the Upper Paleolithic period. I probably butchered that. In Europe, however, direct evidence of tattooing from mummified skin extends only the 4th millennium BC. So the oldest discovery of tattooed human skin to date is found on the body of Otzi the Iceman, dating between 330, 70, and 3100 BC.
And he had tattoos on
And he had tattoos.
Yeah. I do remember hearing about the.
So 3100 BC is the oldest recorded tattooing.
That is such a long time ago.
That's, man, well, depending on your religion, that was exactly 2000. 5,000 years ago, 6,000 years ago.
Yeah.
That is madness.
It probably, like, if you think about it, it's kind of tribal.
For sure.
Well, it's not kind of. It is tribal.
Right.
And so, like, now with the bloom of tattooing, it doesn't, like, really surprise me. I think it goes hand in hand with, like, people are kind of acting more and more tribal now, in their belief systems. And
deep,
like,
that's true.
So they're kind of wanting to get marked, more and more.
Very
I
heavy.
mean, so when I started tattooing.
And identity, too, is a big thing now.
Yeah.
Identity
you have
and culture.
to, you have to belong in a certain sect or group or, otherwise.
I'm tribe A, I'm tribe B.
Yeah.
But,
And so, like, when I first started tattooing, it was mostly just, for lack of a better word, tough guys, bad dudes, bikers, guys in the subculture of whatever, society. But now, like, it's
just
I'm
the norm.
tattooing like 16-year-olds with their moms that are, like,
It's just the norm.
It's so normalized now.
Yeah.
It's blown up into something that, like, not a lot of people thought it would, but it's really kind of like just normal,
Yeah.
People are just tribal at heart.
I mean, even the first couple tattoos I got, my parents were freaking out. I mean, I don't know about you guys,
I hit
but
mine. My
Yeah.
sister
my mom
snitched on me.
slapped me in the face.
and that was what, 25 years ago, 20 years, so it's like it makes you think, and now I guess they're kind of more accepting to it. They probably won't tell me, but even if they did, I'm still going to do it anyway.
Right.
But it's so interesting how even jobs now are just, it's almost like mass in numbers, right? Because there's so many tattooed folk.
You can't deny
it's like, for
everybody a
instance, you're Dominican. Okay, my wife is Dominican and Puerto Rican.
Huepa.
Huepa, yo no sé. There's so many of you now that
It's horrible.
if I owned a Florida business and I decided not to hire Spanish people,
that would be the struggle.
it'd be a horrible story because there's so many of you now. It's like people with tattoos.
And
Like
we're
there's
the first ones at the door.
right. There's so many people with tattoos now.
Yeah.
You can't discriminate.
Yeah.
And you got now the jabronis that are doing stuff on their face. I'm not a big fan of that, where they tattoo the whole face. That's a little aggressive to me.
Dude,
I mean, do you?
I'm way too
speaking
pretty.
of that,
Do you? But
I mean, this is gonna make me sound kind of old, but I'm at Target and I see this Target employee walk by. She's got a big ass intricate face tattoo.
No.
And I'm just like, what?
I'm okay. I don't need that.
I didn't think Target went that woke, but I guess.
Oh, Target is woke as fuck now. Like almost every Target I go into,
the Target here?
Target here and in the North Side.
What? Sorry.
Every Target now has to. Well, in all those companies, I think it's so funny how culture what we accept. At least this time, sunshine, Sunday, Sunday,
AKA Scribbles.
scribbles. But it's so weird how we, as a society, accept in a short amount of time a specific human. Like, like what's trendy now? Like coffee? Is it Starbucks or is it the hippie place with everyone's tatted up with beanies and they're all vegan? Like that's what's cool now.
Yeah.
So it's almost like corporate companies like the Amazons and the Targets of the world. They're like, if I don't look like this trendy coffee shop, I'm not going to attract.
But that's where we're going.
The
Face
fucking-
tats?
Dude, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm out.
But
I'm sorry.
think about it. I mean, how many artists now that are making millions that have the tats? That's the problem also too, is the culture, right?
Rappers.
I can
Rappers?
hardly see their face. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just
Since
I'm just
Post
really pretty.
Malone, And I know that before Post Malone is not the first mumble rapper or whatever you want to call him.
Well,
But-
country singer now.
Oh yeah, whatever he is.
Apparently.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Posty.
Bro, don't even get me started.
Speaking of which, I just got told a few weeks ago that I look like an older version of Post Malone, which I took offense to.
That is a big offense.
I was like,
Disrespect,
what?
bro.
What? How dare you?
Like I thought maybe.
Why I
she
gotta be
thought-
older? Well, why?
I know you're basically telling me like,
We're-
hey, you
we're
look
the
like an
same
older,
fucking
shittier
age.
version of Post Malone.
You guys are the same age.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
Anyway, so like so with like Post Malone, a lot of these rappers that've got face tattoos, like so many kids are coming into the shop trying to get face tattoos, and it's
crazy.
It's mind blowing at like how many times they'll come in with their
I
parents.
don't mind face tattoos. And like you said, it's probably gonna make me sound old. I'm just like, all right, if we're working for like a corporate place, I would like a corporate face. I don't know if that sounds horrible or what, but I want to be able to see you, and I know that you with a face tat is you.
Yeah.
but I just feel like there's a certain career and a certain place for a certain type of thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna go to Target and see her and be afraid.
Yeah.
No, girl, I'm gonna be like, what you got?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I kind of wish you were selling me the weed instead.
I know.
I don't know. Like I kind of wish you were a guitar player in a band,
Right.
Or
And not working at Target.
yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
and you know, I think,
sorry, fuck everybody.
and that's a problem. Same thing with dressing, right? Like, you know, the way you dress
yes,
is
and
a direct
you
reflection.
know the way I dress,
Right.
Yeah, I know the way I dress.
Right.
I love some heels and a dress and whatever. I love it. My nails are done. I love it.
And do
but
you?
if when I worked at Starbucks,
Right.
I looked like a cool black guy who worked at Starbucks.
Right.
I got my tattoos. It is what it is. Short sleeves, always button up with a fucking bow tie,
Mm-hmm.
either smiley face, piles of poop emoji, whatever, something cool for the holidays, Valentine hearts. I did it all, but I looked swaggy. I had my
Yeah.
backwards hat, like no face tats.
And that's the thing, right? It's like you have to know when to turn it on and off. You know,
Yes.
there's a reason why we don't say fuck when we're working, right? Like
Right.
to customers.
I wish it wasn't like that,
Right.
but unfortunately, it is like that.
Yeah.
If you want to survive in this
Yeah.
world, in this government that unfortunately we have to live in,
Yeah.
make it easier for yourself.
Unless
Play
you're
by
a
the
tattooer.
unless you're a
tattooer.
tattooer.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
Play
guys.
by the cards a little bit. You know,
That's the thing.
you
But
don't
you
got
know,
face tats.
yeah.
No, I don't, but I do tell people to fuck off at work.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he
that's to be
does.
expected.
That's to be expected.
You know, but that's the difference. When I go into a Target, I don't expect to get told to fuck off.
yeah,
But if I go to
right.
like a tattoo shop or like a local dive bar or a speakeasy, well, speakeasy's a bad example because those are a little prissy. But like if I go to like a dive bar where it's
Yeah.
like a hole in the wall, I expect shitty service,
right.
smoke in the air.
And then it's perfect when you don't get it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
Oh, it's great.
It's funny because
But I'm okay with that.
I hang out at the shop a lot. I'll just go, even if I'm not getting tattooed, I'll just go and sit. And we're like huge, like indie horror buffs. So he'll play movies there, and they're like
Today.
sex scenes and tits out
All
and
the time.
customers there. But it's expected. It's a tattoo shop. It's like it's weird. I don't want to walk through the Target and have a TV with the girls that her tits out.
But also,
Be like, ooh.
on our door, it says no children are allowed, but people don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, people don't care because it's at your own risk spot.
I mean, I think yesterday, there was a lady, a couple that decided to leave their kid alone in the front lobby, and while they were getting tattooed, and I didn't even notice it until I'm hearing a kid. I'm like, what the hell?
What in the hell?
And I look, and there's a kid like on our pew in the front, and she's got like stuff thrown around, and it's like, if these parents only knew the type of people that like come, like, not saying that like tattoo shops you always have
Or dirty or rugged or anything. But yeah.
but my location, there's a lot of vagrants. The group of people is tough, rough,
Right.
and it's definitely not like
Kid friendly.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too, right? You don't want to tell a company like a tattoo spot. You don't want to force them to change because a kid's around. You should kind of almost tailor how you react and go to public
Yes.
as if you're kind of in someone else's home.
Absolutely.
Like I'm not going to come into your home and start moving stuff around and say the word fuck when you got a kid around. There's certain etiquettes that we have to follow, and that's where it goes back to like
Absolutely.
an hour and 32 minutes ago I said we just need to be better humans.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think if we were just all better people, everything else would work pretty smoothly. But, because we go to a tattoo spot and you say the word fuck and a mom decides to bring her 5-year-old kid, that's not really your fault. That's the mom's fault for not being a better human and
I'm
keeping
with
your
you.
fucking kid at home.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Also,
come on.
and just in general, if you're coming to get a tattoo, for all those listening, go alone.
Right.
It's something that
It's a cool
I need
experience.
somebody to hold my hand.
it's something that should be entirely your decision.
That's right.
Not influenced by anyone else.
That's true.
And it's also a very long process depending on what you're trying to get. So don't like telling someone to come up there is like having someone, hey, do you want to, I don't know,
Sit for 7 hours.
while I listen to someone recite the Bible or something. Like it's like,
Here's a good. Would you like to go to dinner with me? But you can't eat.
yeah.
Yes.
Why would I go
Yes.
watch someone get a tattoo? I mean, I was
Absolutely.
forced to because the last tattoo I got was at the tattoo convention with the wife, and we got them both together.
See,
from
but you
this
had
one
somebody
artist.
But a
there,
convention
she was,
is
Oh,
a
yes.
total
and
different
she,
beast.
and
Totally
she
different
was
beast.
also participating
Right.
in the actions,
Yeah.
so it's not like
Exactly.
she was waiting for you.
Now,
for no
if we
reason.
go to your spot and I decide to get a tattoo, I'm gonna actually ask her if she wants a tattoo. Because if not, you don't need to go with me.
Yeah.
You don't
Facts.
need to stand 20 minutes. Stay at home and watch Netflix. It's way better at home when you're
Yeah.
not getting a
It's
tattoo.
not comfortable for anybody.
No.
Like there's
I
no
don't need
comfortable
to
chairs
see
up
it
there.
be done. I'm gonna see it
And
the rest
like,
of your life.
and like I'm sure with you being an artist, you know, like for me, if let's say if April and Brenda were here, but they were in the corner watching us doing this podcast,
Hovering over.
not okay.
Not as organic.
Yeah.
Not as organic. Same thing I would imagine when you're tatting somebody. You don't want 3 family members just staring at you being like,
Yeah, there's definitely a certain level of like, you got to give me some room.
right,
Yeah.
room
just
to work.
because I am sporadic, and I'm on.
And
I'm
you're
in a-
big.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and
Yeah.
you're in behind me trying to take a video.
It's like, dude, come on. But that's why I
Unless
think
you're a professional videographer, you know, I read
Yeah.
I read the artist.
It's a great
I'm like,
segue.
I'm with you.
That's why I say it'd be a cool service to have someone, you know, think of it like you guys would be the Universal Studios of tattooing. Second you go into Universal and you get your ticket and you walk in, what do? Oh, are you guys a couple? Do you want a picture?
Click.
Imagine if you get a tattoo, you got a cat that's already there. Hey man, you're paying me $200 for the ink, throw in another 50 and you get, you
And
know,
we'll take-
XYZ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Bro, we'll take pictures of it. Fucking, but
Do a little video. I tell you what would sell to all these fucking millennials.
yes.
If you give them the raw, or maybe you edit it, I don't know. You give them the raw footage, 40 seconds of, you know,
The
4
process,
yeah,
yeah.
the whole process, 40, 50 seconds, whatever. Maybe you edit it and you give it to them in 2 forms. You give it to them in the regular form and then you give it to them in the Instagram story form.
Booyah. Which
16:9.
we do with our photography.
Bro. Imagine that would be those little girls getting the freaking tattoos of like, you know, lips on their ass cheeks. They would love to
Yes.
post that shit.
Hell yeah.
And I would love to see it.
I will be ready to double tap the heart.
Sorry, Brenda. But yeah, dude, I think that'd be a sick idea. Because even
Bro.
just throwing that out would be,
Then
hey,
we're gonna have a little
way.
room in the back to do our podcast.
that's right.
Okay.
And I'm even like picturing like doing the podcast in the studio. You would have like, you know, the guns, the sound. It's just a cool vibe,
Bro,
man.
now we're taking this to the next
Yeah,
level.
dude. Podcasts are too boring sometimes.
You could,
You know, like-
could interview somebody while you're tattooing them.
That'd be
Like
sick.
somebody special.
Talking is
Yeah.
what gets some people through.
I know it does for me. I got to talk.
Yeah.
Because if I can't, you know, take an oxy beforehand or something, or I can't drink a lot,
Yeah.
or if I can't do something, then if I got to sit there and be there for 2 hours,
I'm
I need-
usually
I need
pretty
to stop.
stoned.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I am definitely
Bro,
stoned,
I
but I
was-
can talk.
I
Tattoo.
I got I had a mouth surgery done for one of my teeth.
Uh huh.
Then
I was gonna say it's a little messed up.
yeah, fuck.
Just kidding. It looks good. Whatever you did, it looks
The
good.
back teeth, okay? So I went like 3 months dry, no smoking, cut, clean.
Right.
Couldn't do it.
Then I went to go get this rose tattoo on my head, and we smoked, bro, heavy before we even started. I got dizzy and I had to chill. I was like, wait, before he
toast.
even started, he didn't even put needle to neck.
Oh
and I
shit.
was like, I need to fucking sit down.
Whoa.
I was like, oh shit.
You
I
were
had to-
rocked.
Yeah, I had to sit for like an hour before we started. I was rocked.
Yeah, that's
And
how
then
I
it felt
felt.
so good.
That's how I felt. Oh, I bet it felt good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. I thought the neck and the head was
Let me
gonna
see it
hurt.
again.
Most of the time,
Yeah, that's dope.
We've got to go back through it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna hurt so bad, bro. Not at
Yeah.
all.
Most
Yeah,
of
that's
the
dope.
time though, when people like black out, it's
Yeah.
before I even.
Before you even start.
Yeah, because once they hit it, you're good.
It's definitely the nerves. They're
Sure.
just like, oh, I'm scared.
All hyped up. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. Brick. Yeah.
Which I've had some funny stories too. Man.
Nice.
Oh, I bet, dude. Well, was there a crazy, like the craziest, if you could pick one, what was the craziest thing someone did on the chair before they got on, afterwards? Anything you could think of that stands out?
I mean, recently I had a lunatic come back with a gun.
No
But
shit.
I wasn't
Yeah.
tattooing
Oh.
them. They just were angry about the price, which I mean, if you don't like my price, you don't have to get tattooed by me.
Right.
They were referred to me, you know. But that's a little bit of a different situation. But like as far as like people on my chair like getting tattooed,
Like start passing out or
at
something.
the beginning, I would allow certain things, you know,
Right.
like people to kind of act crazy and wild because I didn't know like to be able to perform a tattoo, I need your ass to sit still.
Sure, yeah.
Like I just was a lot more lenient now though. Like as soon as I start seeing like someone like doing some funny weird stuff that like
You're like, bro.
I'm just like, hey man, you're not gonna be able to, like sometimes like people will try to FaceTime while I'm tattooing them. Like I'm like, you can't FaceTime the entire fucking time
dude?
that I'm tattooing you. No,
Oh my
like, you have to
God.
sit still, bro.
Like this. They do this.
Yeah, it's like every time you move any part of your body, it moves your entire body.
Yeah, exactly. That's how the body works, ladies and gents. Yeah, that would be annoying, man. Especially now, it's so hard. Yeah. And I find myself too doing it. You know, I have like the TV going, and I'll be Netflixing, and then or not Netflix. Hulu is the only one we don't pay for because we get the commercials. Ooh. So I'll be watching the Hulu, and you only get like 2 commercials every 30 minutes. Second that commercial comes on, man, I'm right to the phone. Like my body is so I need to like, and I'm sure like when people are tattooing, because now that I remember when I was tattooing, I think Brenna was there, so I was talking. But my first tattoo, I don't think there was a phone. I don't think I had a phone. I don't think I was fucking
Dating
around.
himself.
Yeah, so like I didn't want to like hop on Instagram and post a photo.
Oh, yeah.
But now I could imagine, especially these kids, it's got to be so hard for them to fucking just stay still for an hour.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between sleeping for 6 hours still, and then being awake and not touching your phone or not talking to somebody or not like, So I think it might be kind of hard for me too. I don't know, because I'm just a fidgety person.
That's why we got movies playing or
Yeah,
some music
bro.
playing. We it's not. We try to
Maybe
at
bring
least-
in the AirPods and you could listen to something, right?
Yeah,
that's a
definitely.
good idea.
So and we got a bunch of art on the wall. So there's like
There's things to do.
There's places to
like
go mentally.
eye candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the first shop I think I went to was pretty ominous. It was dark, not
They
cool.
used to be.
It looked like a fucking Zack Snyder film in that motherfucker.
Fucking Zack Snyder film.
A couple shops around this area when I was growing up, man. They were just like hole in the walls, man.
That's right.
Like,
that was my first one. Like, yeah,
The best
Nuts.
ink.
yeah. And they were always called like the best ink.
Yeah.
Or like,
Ink Masters.
Yeah, that's right. Brought to you by Dave Navarro.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, but I definitely need to get some more work done, so we'll make that happen. What else we got to talk about? Well, hey friends, thanks for listening to part 1 of this very funny episode I did with Hector and Nova. Obviously, part 1, we talk a lot about the pandemic, social media, them, raising children in this day and age, plus a lot of other fun stuff. So I hope you enjoyed part 1 as much as we did creating it. Part 2 is just as funny. We talk a lot about superhero movies, streaming services. Be sure to listen to part 2 as well. That's in the description below. And then, of course, it's available on all platforms. If you love this episode and all the episodes, leave a review. It would mean the world to me. But until next time, we will see you on the Broader Podcast. Peace.